think of it as in like Earth temperatures, Earth food, Earth water, Earth animals. It just looks like Mercury. It just looks like Saturn. Yeah, you can't live on Jupiter, but say you could.
Well, it's a gas.
Oh my god. Hi, this is Scout.
I'm William.
From Hyperventilating,
the podcast.
A show that follows life and change through the eyes of a father and daughter. Join us as we find our way together.
Mm-hmm.
Our first topic of the day is, does watching TV count as screen time? Okay, I think that if you're watching TV, like, alone, then I think it does. But if you're watching it with your family or another person, I feel like it doesn't because you're with somebody else. I don't know. I think that if you're sitting with someone, I don't think it should count. But when you're alone watching TV, I think it does count as screen time because there's other things you could be doing when you're solo.
Well, how is that different from when you're with people? Could you be doing other things, playing cards or a game?
It's just that I think it's different when it's a group decision to do it. Whereas when it's just you deciding to do it, when you could be doing other things. But when it's just...
But it's still screen time though, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, what do we define? What's screen time? Like we're trying to differentiate between what? Like we're always, our faces are in some screen or another all of the time, right? Now, the way the world is. So what are we trying to say here? That there's good screen time and bad screen time, or?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think it's bad. Okay, let's put it this way. I think it's bad screen time, air quotation marks. I think it's bad screen time if you're doing it alone. Because I think there are more productive things you could be doing on your alone time. But if you're with someone, do I still think it's screen time? Yes, but I think that it's a better version of it because you're sitting with other people. And it's, especially if it's a group decision to do it, like to watch a movie or to watch a show, I think it's different. But I think that they're both screen time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people use their TV time at night to wind down or just to be mindless, or maybe they're like, I don't know, knitting or
definitely
playing
or
a guitar
their room or
yeah.
I think that there's good and bad screen times. Like if you're learning, if you're practicing guitar and you're just kind of strumming and you're watching a show, then I think that it's not productive, but it's a good way to just have something in the background.
Yeah, like your original question is, does TV count as screen time?
I guess
we're getting off the rails from that, right?
It does. I personally think that it does count as screen time.
Yeah, I think it does. If you binge watch 5 hours of TV, but you only spent half an hour derping on social media, you don't get to say when somebody asks you, oh, how much time did you spend online today?
Half an hour.
Yeah. It's like, no, man, you spent 5 hours. Yeah. You were on for a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if you're staring at anything glowing, any kind of glowing electronic box, that's screen time.
Yeah. Like, I think even...
Good or bad, that's a different question.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. So we can both agree that it is screen time.
I think so.
Okay.
But then so then what constitutes, like, wasted time? I mean, there's an argument can be made that all of it does, but that's not fair. Because sometimes it's just entertainment. I mean, or it's informative, or... So what's good screen time and what's bad screen time, then?
Well, I think that bad screen time is if you have other things you could be doing, like if you're making the choice alone, if you personally are making the choice to sit and scroll on Instagram or TikTok, I think that that's bad screen time. But if you're working or you're watching a movie with your family or you're cleaning your room and you have it in the background, or you're maybe... I don't know. I think that bad screen time is when you're making the personal choice to waste your time on it, whereas good screen time or better screen time is when you're working or you're investigating or you're...
So it still is subjective, right? Because what one person might consider a waste of time, another person might consider a productive use of their time.
Yeah.
So to me, a lot of it is how much. Like, how much time are you spending staring at the glowing box?
Yeah.
That's a big thing to me. Is like, it's not so much. I mean, there's people whose lives necessitate they spend 12 hours staring at a computer screen, right? But that's how they make their living.
Yeah, I know a kid who's younger than me who spends his average screen time. Their average screen time is 13 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane and unhealthy and wrong on so many levels. And even the most pro screen time person would say that that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, if you need to do it for work, you need to do it for work. Like, that's a lot of people make their living staring, again, at a glowing box, right? And that's different. We're talking more
online,
about... we're talking about, like something separate from that. Like, it's not work-related. It's
a
more...
personal choice to spend time. I think if you're making the personal choice to spend, an hour, half an hour a day on, like, Roblox or TikTok all together, I think that's okay. Some... aimless scrolling.
I don't love it, but
it's better than 13 hours or 3, 4 hours, 5 hours a day.
Oh, no question. Yeah, no question.
I think that there's good ways to spend your time on social media or online, and there's bad ways to spend your time on social media.
Definitely. Like, I think at the end of the day, if you ask yourself, literally at the end of the day, you say, okay, what did I do today as far as online? And your answer is, I spent 5 hours online. Okay, well, doing what? And if you have trouble figuring it out, or your answer is just simply TikTok, Instagram, Roblox, then no, that's not good at all.
It's not.
That's not a good use of time
at all.
But I think TV definitely counts as screen time. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think so. I mean, it definitely does. Like,
I think that I think it's a better form of screen time than being on your phone and watching short form content or playing Roblox.
Yeah, but it's personal, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
For some people, they spend an hour short form content consuming, and then that's all they do during the day, and it gets them wherever they need to be.
Yeah, I mean,
it's peaceful. And then there's people who spend an hour watching, just complete trash and nonsense.
Yeah.
So. It's a tough one, but I definitely think that...
I think it's screen time.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to slide into our next topic. And this is, do you think...
Smoothly are we sliding in, just like...
Oh, yeah. Just edging our way
dance.
into it. Yeah, exactly.
As if we could dance, imagine.
If only.
Yeah. We can dance our way to the next topic, daughter.
Attempt to dance.
No, we're online here. We're yakking. I think
then we're dancers.
I think when it comes to yakking, we can claim to be dancers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
just not when it comes to actual dancing.
Yeah. Okay. Do you say thank you to the bot or not? So what we mean by this is, say you're on a website and they have a little customer service button where you can talk to someone about your questions or your problems with the website, or if you have questions about anything really. And you're talking to the robot, the AI customer service. So the question is, do you say thank you to the customer service robot or not? I do. I would. Just out of politeness. I know it's not a real thing. I know it's not a real person. But I don't know. I just...
Yeah, this came up because I was doing something online, talking to, I forget what it was.
You had a little rant about it.
Yeah, I had a little rant about it. Well, because it's a big weird interaction. The bot is, marginally helpful and marginally useless.
Yeah. The
thing's coming back with, so, sir, is that a turnip you want? No, yeah. I didn't say turnip. It's,
Yeah.
Like, it's annoying, but then eventually you do get somewhere. And then the thing is all like, well, I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you had a pleasant experience, and please rate us and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that, man. You're a robot. But then I do feel compelled to say thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's how I was brought up. If somebody does something for you, you say thank you. And really, it's as faceless if it was a real person. I don't know this person either that could be typing on the other side. And of course, I would say thank you to anybody, even if they weren't that helpful, just for their time.
Yeah.
So it's a question of like, do you thank the bot? I think that you almost have to, because if we don't, we'll start going down a road where we just don't. Like, regardless if it's a person or if it's a robot, or you'll just be desensitized to that kind of normal.
I mean, I really don't think that there's like much of a conversation. I would thank the robot, just because I've been raised to say thank you to people or robots, just to say thank you in general.
There is a conversation though, in the sense that what are you thanking? Like you're not.
No, I mean,
it's not like the robot's in there going, "Oh, sweet, that felt good," you know. Or contrarily, the robot, if you hang up without saying thank you, he's not talking to his buddies. Hey, this clown.
Yeah.
I helped him. It took like 20 minutes, man, and then he never said anything nice. Like it's that's the thing about it. It's not like the nicety, of course, of please and thank you. They're critical, right? Like that's ground zero for interaction, is please and thank you, hello and goodbye. But I'm not interacting with anything organic. So I just finished saying thank you to a machine, robot, to an algorithm that completely doesn't care about my thank you. It was completely valueless on the other end. Mm-hmm. So that's a weird thing to do. So at the end of the day, it feels like I should do it simply because I should make sure that I maintain that basic level of interaction, that discourse of thank you, please. But I'm kind of doing it for no reason. I'm doing it so I don't forget to do it, I suppose.
Right. I like the question, would you thank the bot or not? Yes, I would. I would thank the bot. If anything, just to make me feel good.
Yeah.
Just walk away knowing that I said thank you. Like, it would just make myself feel good about. Like, it would make me feel good about myself that I said thank you. So what even if it was to a robot?
All right. So what if the bot is of no help? Are you allowed to say, "Hey, man"?
I would say thank you for your time.
What time? There's no time to the bot.
Yeah, I know, but still.
No. So, but could you say to the bot, like, you just wasted a half an hour of my life. I hope somebody unplugs you.
Whoa.
Well,
that was crazy. No, I wouldn't say I hope someone unplugs you.
Are you distancing yourself from me there? I feel like I'm being distanced from. That crossed the line, did it?
No.
But that's the thing, right? Like, that is the thing. Like, if it was a human being and you said, "Oh, I hope somebody unplugs you," to be like, "Whoa, okay there, man. That's not nice." Because it wouldn't be. It would be psychotic and insane. But it's a machine, you know?
Yeah.
It's like unplugging your vacuum. You don't apologize to your vacuum at the end of the day. You're not like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, but I got to unplug you." You don't thank your vacuum after you vacuum the house. You're not all like, "Oh, gracias, man." That was, you're not happy.
But the difference between a vacuum and an algorithm that's made to help you is that a vacuum just sweeps up your house.
The vacuum provides an immediate service.
Yeah, but it doesn't, like, it's not. I hope you enjoyed this chat we had here, and I hope you found my service of good help. It doesn't.
The algorithm
ask you questions.
does.
It doesn't.
The algorithm's not twirling its bits and byte mustache.
Well, no, neither is the vacuum.
No, but that's exactly my point. If you were walking around chatting with your vacuum, people would be like,
this
"Whoa,
conversation
okay, Scout needs some serious help."
I just bonked the table, my bad.
But I actually think that this point is germane to the conversation. Like, you don't thank your computer when you shut it down at the end of the day.
No.
Thank you, computer. But
I'm going to start doing that just to prove you wrong.
But you worked on it all day.
I'm going to start doing that just to prove you wrong.
I should thank my phone. When I plug my phone in, what does it say? It's something about the mothership.
What is it?
I can't remember. What does it say?
Like something like "Welcome to the Mothership Master" or something like that.
Some stupidity. But it's...
And then Madish says, "Thank you, my lord."
So we're thanking the bot online in these interactions because there's the illusion that you've just interacted with something sentient. That's really what it is. Mm-hmm. And so since you know it's an illusion of sentience, I mean, it's just a weird thing to say thank you. But I do think, yeah, you should probably.
Yeah.
But we should start thanking everything, man. Vacuum.
Okay.
The oven.
I am so excited for this segment.
Oh, so you're calling it on the last one?
Yeah, I really
Right.
am.
It's probably time.
I am so excited for this next segment. It's such a good segment. And it's the Words Matter book review.
Words do matter.
For this book review, we're going to be talking about my favorite book series of all time. I probably read this book 4 times, each book, except for the fourth one.
You've referenced it on like 2 or 3 different
I love this book
already.
so much. So if you haven't guessed already, it's The Hunger Games. Amazing.
Very good book.
I give it a 10 out of 10. It's amazing.
We should have a kids scale and an adult scale.
Okay. On the kids scale, it really depends what kind of kid you are.
You're not really a kid. You're more of a.
Well, it
You're a
really
young
depends
adult.
what kind of a
On the
kid you are.
YA scale.
Okay, YA scale. On the YA scale, it really depends what kind of books you like to read. This book is a very dystopian, utopian kind of book. It touches on, I don't know, I think it's a really great book. It's about this girl who...
So are we sticking with the first one, really, right? Is that what you were? That's
yeah,
what you
the
wanted
first
to do?
one, yeah. Because
Susan Collins is the author.
Susan Collins is the author. It's about this world that had a big war, and it's separated into 12 different districts. So, like, countries.
13, really, right?
13, yeah. But 12.
Yeah.
Because
12 that
they know of.
No, like there's the main place.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The capital.
The capital. The capital oversees the 12 districts, but they got
rid
side
of the 13.
agreement. They have a side agreement with the 13th. They're the ones that went underground, remember? Because they had a nuclear weapon,
but we don't know
too.
that in the first book.
Okay. All right,
but
gotcha.
Anyway, so it's about this world that got separated because of a war into 12, 13 different districts, they're called. But they're really just countries, states. And basically the capital is kind of the leader of all of these districts. So that's where the ruler, the president is. And every year they hold these things called the Hunger Games, which is where they draw names of 2 kids from every district, a boy and a girl, and they pick 2 kids from every district, and these kids are sent into a dome.
Combat,
combat.
An arena.
To
an enclosed
fight to
arena.
the death. And these kids are anywhere from 12 to 18 years of age. And
it's filmed, it's shown on like a reality TV. It's a way of controlling the districts.
To show
the districts are all in poverty, and the capital's got all the riches.
And basically the Hunger Games is to show the districts every year, like, we're in charge. Like, this is it's a punishment, basically. It's a punishment to the districts for turning against the capital all those years ago. And so it's about this girl whose younger sister gets called into the Hunger Games, and she volunteers as tribute. So this girl goes into battle, and it's just her story. The
author took I know she has inspiration from Greek myth, the Minotaur. This dude Minos made Athens put forth tributes like that, 7 boys and 7 girls, every whatever, and then they had to go into the labyrinth, and they ended up eaten by the Minotaur. Beautiful writer. She was watching a reality show where people are competing for prizes, and then almost right away, she was just channel surfing. She saw footage of the Iraq War, and so that's where the first idea of the whole thing started with her, like a game show. That's really cool. Yeah. Sad, but like really cool. That's cool how she got her. They're good. They're really well thought up. A lot of the times, you'll have a book series where by the 3rd one, it's like, okay, you just want money. But all of these books, like the 3 main books, are all
really well written. They have, all of them have great storylines.
Well, and they're not stupidly long. Like
exactly. Everyone from like 12 to 13 can start reading them, and they're great.
Yeah, they're not like, a lot of times now, because they charge so much for books, everybody thinks a book's got to be 600-700 pages, like they're Dickens, and they're just not, and they just don't have enough story. And these books aren't like that. Like, they're a reasonable amount. Each one tells a segment of the story, and they make sense, all three of them.
And it really makes the writing, the way she writes, she really makes you care about the characters, but without too many details.
It's good. They're definitely readable as far as I'm concerned, for sure. I enjoyed reading them as an adult. I enjoyed reading them.
Yeah, they're
I think they're great, and I think they're great for kids. I mean, depending on the kid, like, there's themes. So thematically, for people who are wondering as far as whether children should be reading them, there's definitely death is a huge part of it. And
but they don't explain
poverty
gore.
and people not being equal. And
it really depends on what kind of kid you are.
No, they're not gory. Like, they're not. It's not exploitive. It's not nonsense like that. It's definitely not. But there is very moving scenes of death, and there's extreme violence. It's not dwelled upon, but it's those kids go in and they fight to the death, right?
It's sad. Like, these 12-year-old, 13-year-old kids or 18-year-old kids are going in to kill each other. Mm-hmm. So the movie's harder to watch, but the books they're great. They're really, they're great. 10 out of 10, my favorite books ever.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend them. I recommend them to kids and to adults too. Like, it's one of those times where I feel like the books are fun and interesting and well written enough for an adult to read and get pleasure from, as well as the kid. So that's a needle that's not always threaded, right? Where both the parents and the children can enjoy the book or the series. And I feel like this is one of those times where everybody can enjoy it. It's they're good family books in that sense.
It's a crazy concept, like, these kids going into battle on live television in front of the whole Pan-Am.
Yeah, it's
and people like to say, like, oh, imagine if something like that really happened. And it's like, well, back in ancient Rome, they did do that. People would.
Sure.
They would battle to the death in the Colosseum and other places.
No, that was part of her inspiration too, for sure. I know. There's no question. They're gladiating.
Yeah, I do not doubt that.
No doubt.
So,
I mean, that's literally what it is. The kids are gladiators. They're thrown into an enclosed dome, and it's Lord of the Flies too, right? Like, the kids form alliances. Oh, for sure, you have to read that. Okay. Yeah. That's the real insanity of it, is these kids form these alliances so they can survive. Like, say, a small child, a weaker, smaller child that has to go up against a 18-year-old boy who's full-grown man size and in combat, and so they form alliances. But then at the end of it, they're expected to be only one standing. Like, I know, it's nuts.
It's grotesque, but it's an amazing book.
Yeah, really good.
So 10 on 10. Best book series ever. Love it. I never miss an opportunity to bring that book into a conversation.
I'd say it's a good solid, like, 7 or 8 out of 10 from an adult point of view. Well, I mean, it's not.
Well, your point of view is wrong.
No, I think that's a pretty high score from an adult point of view for a young adult book series. Because she very much wrote it so that it would appeal to kids and not be too much for kids. So it definitely it's definitely softened.
Well, it moves along really well,
but it's not
too.
Childish.
Like, there's 3 parts in the book: part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 1, she gets drawn, blah blah blah. Her name gets drawn. Then she goes to the Capitol. Part 2, trains, meets other people.
Oh, you know why?
Gets her
She was a
costumes.
playwright. She was trained as a playwright.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's why the three.
Okay, cool.
All three of her books are.
Yeah, they're all part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah,
three
and then
act
part
structures.
3, she goes into battle. So I really like it. It's you can know, like, if you're trying to find a specific part, you can go, okay, part 2 is kind of where this happened.
Right.
But yeah, definitely read the book.
Yes,
Definitely.
highly recommended.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now, I have a what if. So, if you've been following, you know that a what if is I just ask you, Dad, a question that's kind of, we've previously had, what if you lived with the dinosaurs, or what if you lived in your dream utopia? Well, this week's...
You were saddling them and turning them into Ubers.
Yeah. What if... What if we lived on another planet, and what planet would you live on? Like, if, you had the right suits, and you had the right home, and you had all the food and everything, what planet would you live on? In our solar system.
All right.
I already know my answer. Mercury. I just love Mercury. I did a Google slide on it one time for school, and I know lots about Mercury, and I just think that it's an amazing planet. I think it's really cool. Very aesthetically, like, visually aesthetic. I really like it. So, yeah.
I don't know what to say to this one, honestly, because, I mean, none of them...
Or Mars.
Yeah, but all of them involve bubbles and pumped in oxygen and hoping there's no cracks in your ceiling.
Pretend it didn't. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if
Christmas.
we said that. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. It is. That's right.
We're actually recording this the day before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So Merry Christmas Eve now.
Yes.
And Merry Christmas in the future. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what to do with this one. What if you lived on another planet?
Mm-hmm. Just, what's your favorite planet? We'll start there. What's your favorite planet?
I don't have a favorite planet. Earth.
Oh my god.
Earth is by far.
I was even going to say besides Earth, but I didn't think that you would say it.
Well, okay, let's go through them then and see if we can avoid embarrassing ourselves by going
Mercury.
through them. Mercury.
Earth. No. Let me cook.
No,
Let
let's
me cook.
Cook what? Let's discuss Mercury. What do you know of Mercury?
During the day, it's really hot.
Sell Mercury to me.
Okay. Yeah, during the day, it's really hot, and then.
But isn't it hot? Like you're exposed.
Melt your face off hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't find that a selling point.
And then at night, it's like burn your body parts off cold. Again,
not a selling point. So
but
I'm
I don't know. The
Mercury.
only reason I would live on Mercury is because I like the planet. I like the name. I like the.
Okay, it's a very cool name, but Jupiter is a cooler name. But it's a gas bubble.
Yeah.
So
okay,
we're not
but pretend.
living there.
Okay, pretend that these planets weren't dangerous and you could actually live on them. Like, I think Mars would be cool to live on because of the mountains.
Would that not just be like living in the desert? Only
yeah, but
we're
pretending like that it had everything that Earth has. Just it looked like Mars, but it had food, animals, water. It just looked like Mars. Yeah, air. It just looked like Mars, or it looked like Mercury, but it still had the same temperatures as Earth. Okay.
So we're going to pretend none of the planets is actually what they are.
Yeah.
We're just going to pretend that. All right.
Yeah.
You know this kind of thing is hard for my way of thinking.
I did not think it would be this hard.
Well, you can't live on any of them.
Oh my god. I know that.
Okay. So
why do you think we haven't moved to one of them yet?
Well, I think then I pick Saturn because of the rings. I think that they would be cool to look at the rings.
Perfect.
I will pretend then that Saturn is flat. So that I can hang out there with flat earthers.
You can't do that. You can't make... Oh my god.
Okay, so
Saturn.
you can pretend that you can live on a planet that will burn your face off in the day and freeze you into a solid block at night. Mm-hmm. But I can't pretend that I could live on Saturn and
because
look at the
I'm
rings.
Thinking of it as in Mercury during the day is normal hot and Mercury during the night is normal cold. think of it as in like Earth. Earth temperatures, Earth food, Earth water, Earth animals. It just looks like Mercury. It just looks like Saturn. Yeah, you can't live on Jupiter, but say you could.
Well, it's a gas.
Oh my god. I did not realize that this was going to be a whole thing.
Well, that's you. It's you. What if'd it?
Oh my god. Well, okay, how about this?
All right.
What if you could live on a planet that had food, that had animals, that had water, that had winds, that had weather, just like Earth, except it looked like the other planet? What planet would you live on? How about that?
So, okay, all right. So the what if is, what does your imaginary planet look like? That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, pick Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Saturn,
The sun.
Uranus.
The sun.
Uranus.
Uranus.
That's the proper
Uranus.
name.
All right. So, I mean,
There's other planets, but I can't think of them. Mercury.
all as unlivable as the ones you've named.
Yes, they are. But say they were livable.
Then we'd be there, man. We
would be, but we're not. So
we'd
what
be living
if,
in a cul-de-sac with
if,
Elon Musk.
That's what if. That's why what if is a what if.
Yeah.
Because we know it's not possible, but what if we could? What if it was possible?
Well, I understand that, and I appreciate your pedantic tone as well. But there's still, it's not possible.
I know it's not.
No, I mean,
But
I
what
just
if it
don't.
was?
Yeah, but okay, so which planet do I live on?
Don't ask me.
They're all just unlivable chunks of rock. I think what you're doing is you're looking at, like, you see pictures and Mercury looks blue. And
yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
It's a blue ball.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Then I look at Saturn with its rings and I think, ooh, rings.
Okay, then you would live on Saturn.
I look at Jupiter with its colors and I think, ooh, colors. So I'm going to hop back and forth between Jupiter and Saturn. I'm jumping back and forth.
Perfect.
Sometimes I'll be in a Jupiter kind of mood, and sometimes I'll be in a Saturn kind of mood.
Perfect.
Okay.
It was just a simple what if. It was not meant to turn into
I totally answered it.
Okay.
My answer is I would
either
jump
live
back
on
and forth between Saturn because of its pretty rings and Jupiter because of its pretty colors.
Okay. Well,
boom.
I would either live on Mercury or Mars.
Because you like the pretty colors.
Mm-hmm. And I think Mars would be cool, gravity-wise and mountain-wise. So, there you go.
All right, then.
Okay. So, thank you for tuning in for episode...
Thank you very much.
The 7th.
Episode the 7th, yes.
But yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year's, too, because we won't...
No, that's right. Happy New Year's. We'll see you in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Irish. I love you very much.
I love you, too.
And I look forward to our next adventure and our next interplanetary exploration.
Oh, yes. Me, too.